Thank you, Julie. Thank you all for being here tonight. Some of you have come from miles away, and I appreciate that. I'm very grateful to CMU for recognition of my life as representative of CMU's mission to equip people for lives of service, leadership, and reconciliation in church and society. I'll start with my identity and acknowledging the privilege that I have. I was born and raised in a white, middle-class family in a robust rural Manitoba town. Pursuing a post-secondary education wasn't something I really even thought about. I just knew I'd do it, as my older brothers had, and I'd find a way to make it work. I probably still owe my parents some money. It was my second year at CMBC in the fall of 1994, and I was looking at a voluntary service opportunity with MCC's Open Circle, doing some prison visitation. So Open Circle is a visitation program that matches volunteers with an inmate who request a regular visitor. There were no women at that time who had requested a visitor, so the suggestion was made to find a fellow student to join me in visiting at Stony Mountain Penitentiary, a medium security institution just north of the perimeter. Going to Stony Mountain every 3 weeks to visit Oren was critical in my understanding that everyone has a story. These visits and the learning from my Native Studies course that same year showed me that residential schools disrupted a culture. Indigenous families were torn apart, and the understanding of how to parent, how to be a family, and how to live in community was destroyed. Reconciliation is our work, and we have a ways to go. It's up to each of us to understand, to know what happened, to read, to look and act on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action. And I will step off my soapbox now. When I think about my journey thus far in terms of living out CMU's mission, there are a few learnings I'd like to share with you. My brother Steve encouraged me to keep my speech to less than the allotted 10 minutes. So here you go, my short snappers. We'll sing Happy Birthday to Marilyn later. Number 1, you know yourself better than anyone else does. If this is not true for you, change it. Once you have a good sense of yourself, you can really start to trust your gut. Know and understand your strengths. Spend time feeding them. You'll make more of an impact if you focus on where you are already strong. Maybe you find some weaknesses or growth areas along the way. No problem. Surround yourself with people who have their own strengths in those areas. Number 2, put people first. Relationships with family, relationships with your colleagues and your friends. Having strong relationships create a sense of belonging. And that sense of belonging is what makes us brave, what encourages us, and what inspires us, and what helps us create thriving communities. Number 3, be thankful. Research has shown that activating gratitude in intentional ways makes people happier. And who doesn't want to be happier? Being thankful improves mental health and quality of life. Practicing gratitude can improve relationships, increase career satisfaction, and help you to sleep better. Look for ways to be thankful and show gratitude. Number 4, don't wait. Life is short. Resolve issues, especially with the people you care about. If you need help having hard conversations, I know a place. It's called Mediation Services. They offer free mediations for families and neighbors and low-cost mediations for workplaces. This is not a paid advertisement. Maybe you just need help learning how to address difficult conversations. They offer training too. Number 5, we are all connected. And I know what you're thinking. She's talking about the Mennonite game. For those of you unfamiliar, it's where we talk to people until we find out what we have and what common person we know or which camp we attended. I remember being billeted on CMBC choir tours, traveling across Canada and talking to host families about this game and telling them it's the one where everybody wins. But the connection is not just about Mennonites. It's about the earth, the animals, and across cultures. I've heard Indigenous leaders talk about all my relations, expressing the interconnectedness between living things and each other and the Creator. It means that I can't exist without you, and that you can't exist without me. What I do affects you and others. What you do affects me. We are in this world together. For more on why this is important, see point number 2. Put people first. So this takes me to about 6 minutes in, so I'm going to wrap up. Before I close, I have some thank yous. Thanks to CMU for the recognition. For whoever put my name forward, thank you. Thanks to some of the profs and teachers who really had an impact on me as a student. I saw Bernie Neufeld earlier. Bernie was the conductor of ensemble, the choir that I sang in. I have great memories of that. Margot Sim was my voice teacher. Voice lessons gave me a confidence I didn't know I had. John H. Neufeld taught me preaching. And though putting a sermon together isn't something I do often, from time to time I have the opportunity to speak in front of a group, and John's instruction helped me. I'm grateful to my parents who raised me and my brothers by demonstrating a lifetime of volunteering, leadership, and relationship with community, and instilling the values of service to us all. I'm thankful to my brothers, Greg and Steve, whose footsteps I followed to CMBC. And of course, thanks to my little family, my daughter Audrey, who doesn't quite understand why Mommy has so many meetings, and my partner in life, Matt. I'm grateful for your unending love and support. And to close, I'm going to leave you with a short poem that I learned from a former boss. God said, "Build a better world." I said, "God, I am but one. The world is such a mixed up place. I'll lose before I've won." God said, "Just a minute now, because all you have to do, the way to build a better world, is to build a better you."